So there it is, the Coleman Mach 15. I'm really excited about this. So now we're going to have two of them. And then we've got the head unit for the inside. And now the challenge, should you choose to accept it, is how to get this bad boy all the way up there. Good morning. We are in Shelbyville, Illinois for a couple of weeks here on our full-time journey. And we ran into some really hot weather in Minnesota a couple of weeks back. It got to about 90 degrees, and we figured out that one AC on a 36.5-foot trailer is just not going to keep up in the deep south this summer. So working with some people at Camping World in Rochester, Minnesota, was able to get an air conditioner, which really nobody can get anything right now with the part supply issues. So we were lucky enough to get an AC in about 3 days. I did have to pay some upcharges to get it done, but it's here. So while it's only about 70 degrees today, we don't need 2 air conditioners, but I do have an extra set of hands to help me out today.
Yay!
Isaac came down, and in exchange for free food and free place to stay last night, we're going to get started working on this AC, which...
That's the only reason to.
Isaac, was that really the agreement?
Yeah.
You didn't ask for money?
He came down here just to help dear old dad out. So our Grand Design Reflection, we're told from the dealer, is already pre-wired for the second AC. We did go with the Coleman Mach 15 Plus, so we'll have 2 15,000 BTU air conditioners on here, so we're going to turn this thing into a meat locker. So I'd actually, if you have a vent in your bedroom, this is a great $12 item to give you a little extra insulation and some light blockage. Works great. We're not going to need it after today, so we're going to donate it to some friends of ours that camp with us. So we're going to start by taking this inside vent off and locating our wires, and then we'll go up on the roof and do some stuff up there. Okay, so that was incredibly, oh, made a mess.
What do they call that? Shakedown?
Yeah, that's shakedown dust. So Grand Design looks like they did a pretty good job. So here's actually our ductwork on both sides. So if we want to duct this unit in to run in our racetrack cooling system, we can. I think I'm going to run this as a ductless model, but I haven't decided yet. It'll probably be a last minute call. So from here we just need to go up on the roof and take the rest of this vent out and scrape off some sealant, and then we're good to go. Get it out. There we go. So what we have is they put our AC wiring inside this little box. It looks like a light switch or a plug-in for a 110. It's not. It's actually got hot wire behind it. So when we get ready, we'll come in here and kill all the power, take this box off. It should just snap off on the back, or no, it has 2 screws on it, and then we'll wire the AC straight into the power panel from here, and life is good. Now, the first thing we're going to do, I got to take these Nice Max air vent covers off that I literally just put on before I decided I was going to need a second air conditioner. So hopefully there's somebody we know that will need them. These are about 65, 70 bucks, but if you have vents, they're totally worth it, because not only do they let you give some sunblock on the top of your rig if you're trying to sleep in the morning, they also protect these vents from hail damage and storm damage, and they let you go down the highway with your vents open, so when you get to where you're going, your camper's not all stuffy. So if you don't have these on your vents, I would highly recommend them. It's a good investment, especially in the south where we run into a lot of hail. I'd much rather have the hail damage beat up my vent cover that I can easily replace than damage this and potentially cause a leak. So kind of the consensus here is that you never want to cut into this roofing material. So I'm just going to start as others have suggested and just kind of work this, because I kind of overdid it with silicone, which is a good problem to have, honestly. So we're just going to kind of work this out until we can find some screws. And this will probably be the most time-consuming part, from what I understand. So I think I see a screw right there, so we'll go ahead and... Another big thing, make sure not to leave any screws on the roof that you may step on, because it takes nothing to puncture these roofs, from what I've heard. Thing to do while we're up here, anything that we see getting on the roof, if we do see a little puncture or a little tear or anything like that while we're here, we'll just go ahead and correct it. These EPDM roofs are pretty forgiving as long as you catch the problem before the water starts to get in. Trying to fix it on the backside is not the way. I kind of like, to the extent that I can, to push my scraper towards the vent. That way if I slip, I hit the vent and not the roof. Okay, so now the fun part is pulling this up and trying not to bring the roof with it. So what we're probably going to want to do is start at a corner, and maybe we go ahead and put a little heat on it.
Yeah, help us separate.
Just kind of get it good and hot.
It is pulling the roof a little bit.
Yeah, it's gonna peel back some, I think. Maybe we go like this.
Just cut around the...
Just kind of hack away at it just a little bit, just to get it to separate. But if we do it while we're lifting up, it should keep us from doing any damage to the roof. And we gotta go right
It
here.
goes in pretty deep though.
What does?
Silicone, like in...
Oh, does it?
Yeah, if you put your finger in and feel it, it goes almost all the way back.
Oh, wow. Okay. And figuring out what's roof and what's gasket, because I know there's a gasket at the bottom of this. So this is roof,
Yeah.
and that's rubber. So just hack. Okay, there we are, buddy. We got a big gaping hole in the roof. So the next thing we're gonna do is,
Do we need to peel any of this?
yeah, we're gonna have to, but that is the roofing material itself. So you can see, kind of like I'd seen on other places online, that they don't bring the roof all the way here. So we're gonna get this tidied up a bit, and we're gonna come up here with the Eternabond tape and make a nice seal so we're not air conditioning the roof. And depending on how hard or easy that is to do, I'll probably pull the other AC and do the same thing. Right here, it's dry, it's never been wet, you can tell. But it's just more about making sure that we don't have a problem down the road. Okay, so now that we have the vents off, we did have some exposed decking material. Yeah, we peeled the rest of the silicone off the roof, and as you can see, the roof doesn't come all the way to the edge of the plywood. So we went ahead and put on this Eternabond tape just to make a nice seal, so we don't have to worry about air or water, anything getting in there. So we're going to put this last piece of Eternabond tape on, and then we're going to set the unit. Alrighty. Oh, don't set it too quick.
That's good on me.
I'm happy with that. Then we'll take it and hit it with a little bit of heat. Look at that, it's just sinking down into every nook and cranny perfectly with just a little bit of heat. And they say this stuff will outlast the original camper roof, and based on how it's made and how thick it is, I believe it. It was kind of expensive, but it was recommended to me that it was something that every RVer should just have on hand, because you never know when that tree branch is gonna hit the roof, or maybe you make a mistake and go over something that's kind of low clearance, and it's a quick way to get a repair done. And I've seen some very good examples on people that have had trees fall through and stuff like that. and this stuff will weather the storm. So I feel really good about this. I've seen other people use the this kind of tape up here, kind of an insulating tape. I don't think that's a bad idea. I just wanted to go with something a little bit stronger. I'm talking from the Okay. Ryan, you want to set it on that ladder while you go? Okay, go ahead, Cody.
Did you intentionally give him the heaviest?
Okay, I'm good. Okay, I'm coming up. Oh, watch the camper. Watch the camper. Okay, we're good. We're good.
Ike, you got fingers on it?
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let me move up.
Oh God.
Let me move up.
Jesus. Watch that gutter.
Oh, watch that. Watch that.
Got it. Easy.
Hold on.
Easy. It's bending. Okay. Set it down.
Watch your vent. Watch your vent.
Set it down easy.
There you go.
So we are on the roof again, as you can hear with the wind. We managed to get the unit up here with the help of our friends, and we have the unit set on, not bolted on, but it's here, and we're going to go down on the inside and get our bolts lined up and give her a test. I'm pretty happy with that. So we'll pull this down, cinch that up, and we have to run it down until that seal compresses. And I'm good with how much seal we have on the outside of the roof, for sure. I'm good with this seal on the back too. So I think we're in reasonably good shape. So what we'll do is we'll put this base plate in and get all our screws started. And then we'll take a look at it and make sure we don't need to do any last minute adjustment. And it may just be kind of tight. I'm just gonna let that one hold like that.
We'll go to this side first.
I'm not tightening yet. It's amazing to think this is all that holds these on. Is that even with the roof?
Well, look at this one. Look how this one's
sorry.
This one's like starting to smash in. So is that one. So I don't know if
So we kind of need to get them all.
I don't know if they need to come all the way down.
It said any part of the tab is even with the roof. So this one to me needs to come down some more. This one needs to come down a little more. And then these two need to come down a lot. Good. Yeah. I'm content with that. So then for my next trick, so this is where we wire into the camper. So we'll have to kill all the power here in a second, do battery disconnects and all that good stuff. So the next step will be to get this in here, and I've got to figure out how that happens. How does this happen?
Does it bolt in?
Or does it go like, oh, it goes like this. And you got screw holes right here. So it will go like this. I think that goes up
On
high.
the inside of this, right?
Yeah, that goes in up high.
So do you want to put that in first? That
Yeah,
way
we should.
put it in while it's new?
Yeah, we should probably go ahead and put the shoe on. Again, not professionals. We are in no way professionals. We're just a good chunk of this RV stuff, repair and upgrades and general maintenance. A lot of it's just more about having some patience and just kind of having the guts to try it. Most of it's not really difficult at all.
Just gotta take your time with
You just
it.
gotta take your time. Is it too tight, I think?
Yeah, I need to loosen it a little bit. Hold on that.
I can't get to it. Too much?
So I can this corner.
What about the back corner? Is
Uh,
it on?
Yep.
It's on?
I think we've still got plenty of space.
Yeah, I
we
think
just
you're
leave
right.
it tucked.
Yeah, leave it tucked.
I'm gonna try and hold this nut. You can go a little more.
Yeah, it works.
You're just gonna leave it
Yeah,
folded?
just leave it folded.
It's already past the roof. You got plenty of space.
Cool.
That'll work.
Okay, so that was a lot easier than we made it.
Because this will go, we'll actually pull it all the way through, and then we peel off this red sticky tape
Sticks.
and stick it, and then that's it. Alright, so after much ado, we finally got that set up, and then we have to plug in our connection. And it just doesn't quite want to go. Now we'll feed the chute through. And then once we get all that set, I gotta line up my screw holes. Okay, Isaac, you can grab a drill and a screw. And do this one here first.
This one lined up.
Yeah, it's lined. Alright, hold it right there for a sec.
Right there.
Yep, so that's off. And this is gonna be, I'm not gonna push these all the way in because I don't want them to get stuck.
Oh, shit.
So, we want it colder than cold. We're off right now, so I'm gonna run outside and kick things on and run it real quick before we put all this back together. Okay, moment of truth. We haven't finished putting the head unit and everything on yet, but we've got everything hooked up. We've got it set to be, is that hot or cold? That should be cold. So we go, wow.
It's on low?
That's, I can't tell because I don't have the selector thing on yet. Oh yeah,
There you go.
oh yeah.
Whew.
It's gonna be an ice box in here, boys.
Oh, good.
All right, Isaac, I'm ready for this one right here. Yeah. Oh. Yep, you're in. Yeah, you are. You're in. Oh.
Can't see this one, so I'm good.
I think so. Yep. What a pain.
That was very harsh.
What am I doing wrong here?
There's a little tab that goes in. Never mind, mine fell out. Apparently I did it wrong too.
Blind leading the blind. Nice.
And the final
They're so flimsy, I don't want to break it.
Final step. Nice. So it's on total cold, and
So it's on now, right?
yeah. Well, it's on
cold. It's
on high cool. I mean, it's blowing. So when we turned our AC on, everything worked great. It's nice and cold, but when we put the head unit on, we were getting virtually no airflow at all out of this thing. So our theory is that the chute hangs down too far because we actually have an indention right here. So we're thinking that it's just freezing this and not actually pushing enough air out. So my thought was to cut it. Angela actually had a great idea to do painter's tape and actually tuck the chute up to take some of the length out of it. And we're hoping that that's going to give us a little more airflow. But before we cut it, we wanted to make sure we were sure. and not mess up this chute unnecessarily, because the way it is to get parts right now, who knows when we could get another one. Okay, so we are all set. We've got our head unit back on. We've got really good airflow now that we take the chute up. So if you decide to tackle this on your own, I'd definitely say you can if you're even reasonably handy. Things that you should think about is making sure to have at least 2 people with you. It's going to take 3 people to get that unit on the roof. Just to have 2 guys lifting it up and somebody on the top to catch it and bring it back on. So other than that, it was a pretty easy job. Just be really patient, taking your sealant off of the roof to get your vent out, and be really patient with everything on the inside, because you want to make sure this is right. It's about a 100-pound unit, and you're going to be bouncing down the highway with it, so you want to make sure everything's nice and secure. Take your time, check for issues. We found the airflow issue. Don't panic, just stop, take a look at some things, but do think about taping up that chute if it hangs down really far like ours did, and maybe we just had a long chute from the factory. But we're all set. We're going to go up top and put the shroud on, and we're going to call this project complete. This thing came off really easy. See if it goes back on. Yep. All good there. It's got a couple screws to throw in here. Be in good shape. So something else that's important to consider when you put on your second AC is now your height clearance is different. Dometic makes some units called Penguins that are very slim. I chose not to go that direction from a cost standpoint because it was about twice the cost. So I did go with the Coleman Mac 15K Plus. So I've got 2 of those on here now. But with that, we have added nearly 16 inches, about 14 inches to our height. So that's something we'll have to take into consideration when we travel, and we'll reset our Garmin RV GPS with our new height once we take that measurement. Otherwise, this project's done and another one in the books. Okay. We own. Nice work, team.